Hey, it's Rex, and I'm a couple minutes prior to the hour when we start officially the live video, but I get online so that other people can join us. So I want to welcome you, and as you appear, and it's great to be here today. It's a Tuesday, not our normal meeting. Hey, Malcolm, good to see you. We could have had coffee. Jan, awesome. Nice to see you. And David, wonderful to see you. I'm glad that you're here. It's Tuesday. Normally I'm doing a Monday night series, and it's the same time and at each Monday, depending on how many shares that we get. And we got enough shares to do this, but I'm traveling. I'm back home in Los Angeles, and I had a meeting last night and was not able to keep my commitment to the Monday night. So we rescheduled for Tuesday, and I'm really glad to be here we are. Hi, Michael. How you doing? Awesome. Michael's one of the Mind Design students, participants, and a former student of mine. I've known Michael for many years through workshops that we did back in the 90s. Awesome. No, I didn't get my hairs pulled back in a ponytail, and it's with the weather here, I can barely do anything with it. Very wispy. Need to heavily condition it. But thank you, Malcolm, for saying so. I had a meeting today, and the gentleman, wonderful producer director, said, "Oh, I love your hair." I said, "Well, I'm trying to look like you," but he had actually cut his hair. So we're getting close. Let's see. This is why in the movie business they have flags and they have scrims and they have things to be able to shade the light. I've got overhead lighting here. It's actually nice outside, but I closed the door. I'm sitting indoors. And hi, Scott. How you doing? And at any moment, a complete party could break out where I'm staying. We could be inundated with dancing people and mariachi bands, and so. But we'll share a little bit of time together here tonight, or today, wherever you are. And all the best, Malcolm. Great. Get back to your writing. And hugs and kisses. And I look forward to the time that we spend. Let's see what time it actually is. So I have. It's the hour starting. So welcome to our high side. Welcome to the evening session with me. I'm Rex Sikes, and we're going to talk for a little bit of time regarding how you can create the kind of life that you want, your best life ever, and design your mind for personal change and transformation, overcome difficulties and limitations, and be able to skyrocket the results that you get. I write a daily blog called Daily Inspiration and Gratitude, and I it was today or yesterday. The days kind of blur together because I have so many meetings while I'm here that I don't remember if it was this morning or yesterday morning, but I saw on Facebook, somebody had written a question. Currently, the blog has been about, thank you for posting that link, Michael. Hi, Nick. The blog has been about what to do when you have troubles. What do you do when we're being troubled, and how to make changes in your life. And this person said, well, I've been like positive thinking for 18 years, but I'm still digging ditches and not having a good life. And, what the heck is going on? And my first thought was, well, you answered your own question. And I mean that with all due respect, because a lot of people have that question. They go, I've been trying this stuff for a long time and it doesn't seem to be working. And typically what happens with that is this: the outside is a reflection of the inside. The outer world reflects what we have going on the inner world. It doesn't mean that you won't be thrown a curveball or that things don't happen or that there aren't outside influences. But the bottom line is that we create our experience. Think of it that way. I'll share you a little teaching training tip you might be familiar with. It's called framing. If I walk into a room, for example, as a trainer, and I say, today we're going to talk about how you can live an incredible life by using affirmations or directing your mind in a particular way, so that you can easily begin to make changes. I'm setting a frame for the room. In the next 90 minutes, we're going to discuss how you can easily make changes using affirmations or visualization or whatever it might be. This is very rudimentary, just very basic. but I'm going to set a frame. Now, if I said, it's really tough to use affirmations and it's really difficult and you're not going to be able to do it, you can struggle for a long time, that also is a frame. In other words, it's the landscape that I'm creating around my topic. Am I making it easy? Am I making it simple? Am I making it difficult? Am I making it, rare? So depending on the frame that I set, the student or the participant or the listener will create certain expectations about what outcomes they can get in during the listening process or during the time that we talk. I'm going to learn how to do something, and it's going to be simple, and I can transfer my life, or I'm going to have a tough time struggling with something, and it's going to take a while, and it's very rare that I can get results. Hi, Craig. Hi, William. Hi, James. Hi, everybody. Now, this is just very basic. I mean, I talk about this at length in other places, and I don't want to go too much into that. I'm just saying that the speaker can set expectations, and we all do. We all set a frame on our life. In other words, how do you think of your life? Do you go, my life is wonderful, it's rosy, it's incredible, I have discovery. Sure, there are outside influences that sometimes come up and create situations for me that I wasn't expecting, but it all works out for the best. I have a positive, wonderful, incredible life, and I'm moving forward each and every day a little bit toward the goals, and I'm accomplishing them, and I'm knocking them off one by one, and some sooner than others, but ultimately I will get there because I am doing what I need to do, and I'm responsible, and I'm taking charge, and I'm making all these incredible changes in my life, and wow, it is such a blessing to be alive. Or are you saying, you know what, I do everything I can, and yet it still sucks, and I don't know why it sucks, but it sucks, and nothing seems to ever work out right, and I have troubles, and you know what, the bank is after me, and my ex-wife or ex-husband is after me, and the economy sucks, and government sucks, and my car is broken down, and I don't know how I'm going to make ends meet, and my feet hurt, and I'm tired at the end of the day, I have no energy, and my health is bad. What is going on inside you determines your experience. What the frame that you set for your entire experience for your life. Life is either good or not so good. I mean, this is the notion of it's a glass half full or half empty. There's all sorts of trite and cute little things about that. But the bottom line is how do you view your life? Through what window? Through what mindset? Through what frame? Through what filters do you look at your life or life in general? And do you get up in the morning and go, my God, it's so good to be alive? Or do you get up in the morning and go, oh God, I got to drag my ass out of bed again today. Same shit, different day. Life is a bowl of cherries. How come I'm always in the pits? And so this person who wrote in my head, and I wish I could answer, I don't know where it is. If I find it, I will answer. But the point is, they're saying, how come my life isn't working? And really, it isn't working. Probably because they're not working it. Probably because of the mindset that they have. If it were, the mindset were positive, they would articulate it differently. Do you understand what I'm saying? They would speak about it differently. This is why I very much say often, over and over again, speak only to bless, heal, and prosper, to inspire, and to motivate both yourself and others. Because what you say acts as an affirmation. What you say acts as an assertion. What you say is a declaration. My life sucks. My life is great. Now, what are you saying about your life? What are you thinking about your life? What are you thinking about your experience? If you think, I'm going into court tomorrow and it's going to suck, I got to face all these horrible things, it's more likely that it will suck. Yes, you can be pleasantly surprised. If you go into court tomorrow and go, it's going to be rosy, it's going to be tremendously incredible, and everything is going to work out, well, that may be a little unrealistic too, and you might be not so delightfully surprised. So it's how do you set realistic expectations and at the same time maintain a positive mindset? I don't know how it's going to work out, but I know it's going to work out for the best. And however it works out, whether I'm fined or penalized or sent to jail or whatever, I'm using the court analogy now, or whether the plaintiff prevails or I prevail, or whatever it may be, however it works out is however it works out, and I'm willing to accept that. I'm willing to live with it, deal with it, and make the best of it no matter what happens. I have a friend who's in prison, and he goes, people are always asking me, how come, and he, as far as I'm concerned, he's innocent, and it was a civil white-collar thing. I mean, it wasn't a crime. Essentially, it was contempt of court, and by not responding to the court. And he's like, people ask me, why? How can I be happy in prison? He goes, are you kidding? I get to spend time developing myself. I get to work on me. And granted, he's not working on the chain gang, but my point is if Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man's Search for Meaning, was imprisoned in a concentration camp, he was a prisoner, and said, the one thing that they can't take from me is my thought. They can't get into my mind. They can take my liberties away. They can take my possessions away. They can take my freedoms away, but they can't take the freedom I experience inside my head. And so this is the key point that I'm trying to make this evening. Hi, Jacob. Hi, Linda. Hi, Christopher. Hi, Mike. Hi, Tim. Hi, all these Monica, who's here, and Shane, and Craig, and William. All of you, thanks for showing up. I'm glad that you're here. We're talking about creating your best life ever and using your mind to get over your troubles and difficulties and to overcome limitations and what kind of mindset you set for yourself. So, going back to the person who wrote this, if you're always comparing where you are to where you want to be and noticing how you aren't there yet, that creates pain and suffering. If you notice where you are in relationship to where you want to be and you are taking little action steps every day, if nothing else, hey, Mark, I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, and Lisa. Hi, Tim. If you're taking little action steps each and every day towards what you want to ultimately do, and you validate that, you will feel far better saying, you know what, I'm inching toward my goals, than to say, you know what, I'm miles from them. This is what we mean by frame or mindset. So if you want to create the life for yourself that is your best life ever, you have to be what you want to be before you can do it. You have to you be before you do, because you can only do to the extent that you already are. And what you are is a result of what you think. So your thoughts are going to govern what you be, do, and have. Do you get this? Do you get this? Because it is important. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Hi, Richard. Good to see you, Richard. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Glad everybody's here. I don't want to single anybody out and make anyone else feel like they aren't being welcomed. You're all welcomed. I'm glad you're here. And by the way, here's what I ask you to do. We have typically a Monday night series where for the next 2 Mondays, I'm going to continue these talks, these dialogues, do some question and answer if you have questions. But in order to do that, what I'd really like you to do is share these. Share this video tonight, right now. You can post it on a wall. You can post it in a group. You can post it on a page, but share it. I'd like to get 50 shares. In fact, we should up it. We should make it like 55 shares now. In order to make next week's event happen. The reason why I want to do that is because there's no such thing as a free lunch. I mean, I'm doing these videos for free, but if I'm going to continue it, I would like you to do share. I'd like other people to be exposed to it. I'd like you to help people get, I hope, a meaningful message. And the best way that you can do that is to share this with somebody else. You can call them up and tell them, hey, get on Facebook right now. There's a live video I want you to see, or you can post it on your wall. But share them. Let's get 55 shares for next Monday. It should be next Monday, regular time, okay? 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, and 5 p.m. Pacific, okay? So, and wherever else it is in the rest of the world. But the point is, the mindset governs everything you do. And the world outside is a reflection of what's going on inside your head. If your inside of your head is messy, the outside of your head is messy. If you think, I can do it, no, I can't. I can do it, no, I can't. I can do it, no, I can't. You cancel it out. So if you think, I can do it, and then you doubt it, and you fear it, and you're afraid of it, and you worry about it, and think, I don't know if I'm going to do that, you're canceling it out. So it's learning how to maintain a positive mindset. It's learning how to maintain a focus and your energy and your attention in a particular area. Now, I pick on Tony Robbins a lot because Tony goes, mind positive thinking, isn't saying there are no weeds, there are no weeds, there are no weeds, like that. Okay. What positive thinking is saying, okay, so there are weeds, I can make my garden beautiful. I can make my garden beautiful. I know how to weed a garden. I know how to plant seeds. I can make a garden beautiful. It's not ignoring problems. It's acting in spite of the problems. It's knowing that no matter what the difficulty is, you can overcome it. Whatever the obstacle is, whatever the hurdle is, you can jump over it, you can go under it, you can go around it, you can go through it. Whatever it is, you will do it. It's developing the mindset of someone who is a champion, who says, you know what, I'm going for the gold. I am going for the gold. And then doing whatever you have to do in order to go for the gold. Now, last time, if you haven't been following me, last time I said there is magic. There's incredible magic. There's incredible power. There's incredible transformative energy in this universe. You are that energy. You may not know it yet, but you are it. And every resource and everything you need to create the most incredible life exists inside of you. And the issue that most people have is they don't know how to access that. They've been conditioned, we all have, from birth to be mediocre, to be less than what we think we are, to focus ourselves on the outside. You have two things in the world, two things that nobody can take from you. Hey, Derek. Two things. One is your thoughts. Nobody, they can condition you. They can fill your mind with thoughts, right? You can watch TV, you can be hypnotized, you can be susceptible to influence, all right? But nobody can take your thinking power away from you. This is what Viktor Frankl was saying. You can take my liberties away, but you can't take my ability to choose what I think about away. So you have the ability to think. You also have your word. Two things you have that are yours, uniquely yours. Your thoughts, hi Dan. You have your words, and you have your thoughts. So your words should reflect what you're thinking. Think only to bless, heal, and prosper, inspire, and motivate, and speak only to bless, heal, prosper, inspire, and motivate yourself and other people, so that whatever you declare is an indication of what you want to happen. Now, it's also about keeping your word. So if you say, I'm going to be there at 8 o'clock, then be there at 8 o'clock. So I'm going to meet you at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, all right? Now, let's say tomorrow morning I get up, I drive, the freeway is completely, blocked up, and I know I'm going to be a half hour late. What should I do? Well, the very first thing I should do is I pick up the phone or text it. I say, hey, got to tell you, I was going to be there at 8 o'clock, and I'm going to be late. I just wanted you to know I'm going to be at least 30 minutes late. All right? You let them know you're going to be late. You don't let them sit and wait and wonder, The other thing you do is you don't go, hey, freeway is jammed up, I'm going to be late. Because what are you doing when you do that? You're blaming the freeway. You could say, you know what, I apologize. Instead of getting up an hour earlier and thinking about how long it was going to take on the freeway, I got up at the last minute, I jumped in the car, and I got there late, and I apologize. I am sorry. Okay, never will happen again, I promise. And then make sure you keep your promise. But you get what I'm saying? Take responsibility for it. You can say, I was going out the door and my kid had a problem, and so I stopped to take care of my kid's problem. It's an excuse. It's a blame. It's putting the reason why I couldn't show up at 8 o'clock on someone else, something else, outside of my control. Do things ever happen outside of your control? Of course they do. But own up to the part that you play in that, and that is, if you knew that you needed to be there at 8 o'clock, you should have got there at 7:30. You should have left enough time. You should have made sure that everything was taken care of, and you should have accounted for all this in advance, and then got there at 7:30 so you knew you would be early. Now, I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you that your word is your bond, your commitment to other people. Instead of excusing, we see this going on a lot in the present day. Everybody's blaming everybody else for all of the woes and all of the worries. The politicians blame each other. They blame the economy. They blame immigrants. You know what I'm saying? Everything is somebody else's reason for why we don't have what we have. As opposed to, you know what? I'm just not doing the right stuff. Okay? And why is this important? Why is it important that we take responsibility and not blame others? Because we have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. We have a non-conscious, a subconscious. And whenever we start conning ourselves and faking ourselves out and lying to other people, we're really just damaging ourselves. Yeah, Linda, honor and integrity. Exactly. Honor and integrity. Thanks, Diane. Honor and integrity. And Derek. Honor and integrity. Okay? Live with honor and live with integrity. Keep your word to yourself and others. Never break a commitment or a promise to yourself. You say, I'm going to get up tomorrow and exercise. Then get up and exercise. Even if you only do one bend and stretch. Do something to keep your commitment. Okay? If you say, tomorrow I'm going to make my bed, and you don't make the whole thing, make a corner of your bed. Clean, I'm going to clean my room. Clean a portion of your room. Do something to honor your commitment. Now, the other way that you can be very smart about this is don't say, tomorrow I'm going to clean my whole house or I'm going to clean my whole room. Plan to clean a corner of your desk or a corner of your room or make a corner of your bed or do one jumping jack or one thing. And then if you do more, I was talking with a friend of mine today. He said, I get up and I say, I'm going to do 5 sit-ups on my crunch board. I'm going to do 5 crunches, and I can do. Because if I think I'm going to do 35 of them, I'll never do it. If I go 5, then I will do 5 more, and I do 5 more, and I do 5 more, and I do that until I've done 35. That I can do, but 35 is too much for me to think about. And that is awesome. Okay, that's using your mind well. Because that's what you do. You inch your way to your goal. By keeping your word and your commitment to yourself, you chunk it down, make it small enough, bite-sized, so that you can make it happen. So set expectations and set frames and set commitments so that you win and honor your commitments and have integrity and don't blame and don't excuse and don't whine about other people. Thank you. I appreciate the likes. That's nice. That's very cool. Okay. Keep your commitment to yourself. And I think Ronnie is here. Hi, Ronnie. Awesome. It's awesome that you're here. Ronnie Cox, awesome. See, the world is governed by your mind. It's governed by what you think about the world. It's governed by what you expect to find in the world. It's governed by how you approach the world. All right? So if you think of it as a wonderful place, yeah, sure, it's like a rose. This rose is beautiful, but it's got some thorns, okay? But, and you can put your fingers on a rose and you can get pricked. Ow! Or you can put your fingers on a rose and miss the thorns too. I mean, all of that's possible. So my point is understand that your mindset will govern how you feel about the world and what you discover in the world. And if what you're finding is that the results you are getting aren't what you want, then you got to go back and look at what am I thinking about most of the time? Where am I spending the predominance of my thinking life? And what am I thinking about? And is it productive? Is it positive? Is it powerful? Does it move me forward? Is it something that motivates me and inspires me and prospers me and heals me and blesses me? Or is it otherwise? And when you're not feeling right, if you're feeling off, you're feeling bad, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling negative, if there's a negative feeling, a gut feeling, a sensation, something like that, examine how you're thinking. Okay, there's nothing wrong with your feelings. Your feelings are signals that, hey, guess what? Your thinking is off. So you want to check your thinking. Hi, Katie. All right? And manage your thinking, because the world outside of you reflects what's going on inside of you. And wherever you are today in the world is the result of thinking that you've done previously. Your thoughts brought you to where you are today. Today's thoughts and what you think today and tomorrow will bring you to where you are in the future. You can't escape the power of your thoughts. And I've said this probably every week. If we think 65,000 thoughts, which is the conservative estimate, by researchers and scientists. We think 65,000 thoughts a day, and 95 to 99% of them are the same thoughts we thought the day before. Realize that you're not even making up new thoughts for the most part. You're thinking old thoughts. You're seeing old pictures. You're reliving memories. You're looking at old movies in your head and old photographs and listening to old sound clips. It's kind of like you're caught in a retro TV repeat in your head. Where you're seeing old stuff from long ago that may not even be relevant today. You just keep playing it over and over, and you have emotional experiences from it. And yeah, you have some new thoughts. But most people don't today go, wow, I'm going to go do this, if they haven't thought that before. You have that moment where you can transform your thinking and go, I never wanted to do that, now I do. But few people will approach it in a new way. They'll approach it the way they approached everything else. Do you see that? They will approach making money the way they've always approached making money. They'll approach exercise the way they've always approached it. They'll try it for a while and they'll give up, or they'll quit, or they'll overdo and then get exhausted, or they'll kind of creep up on it. It's whatever you habitually do is what you will continue to habitually do. Lisa says, what do you suggest I do when I have random thoughts that I can't control? First off, realize that you can control them. Okay, they are within your control. They may seem to be out of control at this time, but ultimately you are the person who has control of your thoughts. So one of the things that you can do, Lisa, is there's a couple of things you can do. One is do you practice meditation at all? Because if you can sit still and practice meditation and allow those thoughts to be that are random, because I really should gather a whole lot more information from you before I just start spouting off. But because there's nothing wrong with random thoughts. I mean, there could be random wonderful thoughts, or they could be random negative thoughts. Or, I had somebody tell me earlier today, my mind won't stop. I'm, thinking anxious thoughts. Oh, okay. Well, you meditate every day. Do you meditate by chanting or by observing? Do you watch breath? Is it a vipassana? Do you do movement meditation? How do you meditate? Is it an observer meditation or a reflective meditation? Are you active in it or passive in it? So you watch your breath. So here's the thing. You do know that you. Let me ask you this. I'll put it this way. Reflective. All right. So if you're watching your breath, like either at the nose or at the belly, or the rise and fall of your shoulders or your chest, you're feeling the in-breath and the out-breath. The goal of meditation, obviously, is to discover when your mind wanders. In other words, it's to focus, say, on your breath, and then you'll notice, as most of us do, that we're somewhere else. We're off thinking about something other than our breath. And then we go, well, shoot, I got to get back to my breath. And we bring our mind back to our breath. And then we breathe for a while, and then we go off again. And then we come back. And this is the important part. It is that steering back. It's without judgment, without making yourself a bad puppy, by going, oh, okay, I wandered off, now come back. 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 It's the coming back. It's the coming back. It's the coming back to the breath that is the important part. But it's equally important to be aware and to not judge and to just allow what they are. It's kind of like, a lot of things you'll hear meditators about, leaves on the water going down the stream, or white clouds in the sky against a background of blue, or whatever. Their thoughts come and go, and they can be repetitive, and they can be like an endless tape recorder. Now, some of the things I teach in neurolinguistic programming has ways of, you can turn the volume down, you can speed it up, you can change the voices, you can do all that. I'm not asking you at this moment to manipulate the thoughts. I'm saying, if you can become aware of them, what is the feeling that you have? And then the question becomes, is as you have these thoughts, if you listen to what they're saying, they may have important message for you, some important feedback. At the same time, they're there, and you can decide, hey, Mark, we'll talk tomorrow, and have a good night. Gotcha. You have your thoughts. You can choose what you want to think. So you think you are aware of the thought, the random thought, and you go, is that a thought I want to think about? Is that one that I want to think? And if the answer is no, then what is it that you would decide to think instead? What would you think instead? And then think the thought you want to think instead in the same way you would focus on your breath. It's the turning away from the one you don't want toward the one you do want, and focusing and deliberately putting your attention on that and staying with it. There'll be other things that come up. So yes, I notice my mind drifting, and it's not a problem, but I have random judgmental thoughts when I'm not meditating. That's just exactly right. So the point of meditation is to take that into your daily life. So that's why you meditate for the period of time that you meditate, so that portion of experience ultimately becomes part of your living experience. And it is a process. It's a conditioning process. It's not something that happens necessarily overnight. So if I answered your question. Okay. But that's the point. Yeah. You want to be able to do the same thing with your thought, with a non-judgmental way. And it's not, I'm a bad person for thinking that thought, or that sucks, or it's horrible that I do any of these things. It's that, oh, look what I'm thinking, but I'd rather think something else. I'd rather think this. Like some people go, I have no money. I'd rather think I can make money. I don't know how yet, but I can make money. And then the other thought comes by, I have no money, but I can make money. I can learn to make money. I'm in the process of learning how to make money. I am able to begin to discover how I can process and make money. Okay, I don't have all the answers, but I'm learning how to make money. I'm learning how to feel good about money. I'm learning how to enjoy, the process of learning how to make more money. And so that you begin to fill your head, and it's not just about money, it could be anything, but you're learning to fill your head with the thoughts that you do want. And you may need to do some of them. The other thing is to write them out, like it's affirmations, and write them out in paragraphs. Kind of what I just did, where instead of just writing the same thing over and over and over, you write around the topic. Okay? So I'm learning how to have better health. I'm in the process of beginning to take care of myself. I know that I can begin to love and nurture and embrace my own physicality in ways that I've never ever thought about before. And I don't know how soon I'm going to find myself feeling better, but I know that as I focus on my health gets better because I'm bringing attention to my health. And I breathe easy, and I relax easy, and I enjoy the sunshine, and I enjoy all the weather, and I enjoy going for walks, and I enjoy these things, and I am actually taking active part in my health, and I am healthy, and I get healthier each and every day, and my body can heal, and I can, understand what I'm saying? You can focus on doing a particular one affirmation, I write the affirmation 100 times every day, that's great. And you can kind of write a paragraph or page around it. And I would do that as often as you possibly can, once a day in the morning when you get up, what is it that you want to think? And then write that out. The more you write it out, don't just write it out. Once you write it out, read it out. I am the kind of person who can easily do this. I am the kind of person who can make money. I am the kind of person who can take control of my health and feel good. I am the kind of person who is happy. I am so grateful that I am a happy, joyous person. Say it over and over and over out loud. Speak to heal, bless, prosper, inspire, and motivate, and nothing else. Don't go, yes, but really, when it comes down to it, the way I feel, in order to have a new reality, you have to act in that reality. The trouble with most people is that they affirm what they don't want, like I am broke, I hate it, my car sucks, I don't like my life, I'm working in the ditch, how come I'm not getting any better, I don't get it, I've tried everything and nothing seems to work. That's what people affirm 95% of the time. They live habitually from that conditioning and then they think, well, okay, so today I think, I can make money, I can be healthy, I can do that, and they do it for a little while, but the old conditioning takes over. You have to be willing to go the distance, and few people will. You know, that's just the sad truth of it. I'm not going to pull any punches. You know what? 100 people, you tell them this, one person might do it. 1 out of the 100 might do it. If you're that one person, your life will radically transform in an incredible way beyond anything you could ever imagine, and you will live the best life that you could ever create and the life that you deserve. And the 99 other people will complain and whine and wish they could and hope they could and look for that magic pill, and they'll run around trying all these different things, but they won't go the distance and actually do what is necessary. If you want tomorrow to increase the size of your biceps, the only way you're going to do that is to do those things that increase the size of your biceps long enough, repeatedly, consistently, in order to increase the size of your bicep. You're not going to get it by taking a pill. You're not going to get it by thinking about it and wishing about it, and magically praying about it and chanting about it and waving a wand over you and carrying, things. You're going to get it by doing what is required, and the same thing is true with your attitude. No one can take it from you, but you have to develop it. And when you do develop it, the world opens up into ways that you could never, ever imagine. So if you're the one in the 100 people who will do that, if you're listening right now and you're that person, you will be so impressed with what you're able to do. And if you're not, then it just falls on deaf ears. That is why I say the teacher always appears only when the student is ready. When the student is ready, that's when the message becomes available. That's when the teacher appears, whether it's a self-teacher or another teacher, an outside mentor. When you're able to hear it is when you're able to hear it, not before. That's why I repeat a lot. That's why I do a daily blog. That's why I have the Mind Design program, so that people can come in and learn how to transform their life through a conditioning process. But you got to do it. I can share the information with you, but I can't live your life. I can't get inside your head and do the exercises for you. You got to do the exercise. You got to do the sit-ups. You got to do those 5 sit-ups every day that become 35 sit-ups. And when you do, wow, watch out. It'll be incredible. Because you do, when you have the right mindset, you set everything in motion for better and good things to happen, because you expect good and better things to happen. And so you do attract those kinds of things. The problem that most people have is they spend all their time trying to attract good things instead of making things happen for themselves that are good. And how you do that? You get your mindset right. You get your words right. You speak to bless, heal, and prosper, inspire, and motivate. You make your declarations, your affirmations, your assertions work for you instead of against you. My boss is such a dick. Yeah, well, that's not helping you, is it? I'm learning so much because of the person I work with. There's always a seed of opportunity in every adversity. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I know it's going to work out for the best. Whether I keep the job, whether I leave the job, whether they fire me, whether I go, whether I resign, whatever, I know it's going to work out for the best. You have to have the attitude of living lighthearted and carefree, as opposed to living with despair and heavy and negative. It's lighthearted and carefree. So, hi, Robert. Wow, it's been a while. Awesome. It's a song unwritten. I don't know what that means, Linda, but that's cool. So it is. It's about learning how to master your mindset and master your thinking process. And you can. That's the one thing you can do. Harmony and creating an incredible life means that you have the ability to control your thoughts, and then you determine for yourself what it is and how it is you want to live. You be the person you want to be before you are the person. You live in that reality. If you want to be happy, look for my blog tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. If you want to be happy, you be happy. It's like, if you want to have energy, you have to do the things that bring you energy. You can't be lying in bed going, I have no energy. I'm so tired, I have no energy. If you want energy, you have to get up. Thank you, Linda. You have to get up, you have to jump up, you have to skip, you have to sing, you have to dance, you have to do something that brings energy. Energy begets energy, okay? Negative energy begets negative energy. Positive energy begets positive energy. But energy begets energy, okay? If you have good taste, you choose the positive energy, right? The one that is good, the joyful, the positive, you feel wonderful, okay? But my point is, if you lie in bed wallowing and complaining and saying, this sucks, I'm so tired, I can't get out of bed, I'm never going to be able to get out, I hate work, oh my God, that's what you're creating. And the problem with most people is they don't realize that that's what they're doing. They have the feeling that they don't feel so good, but they're not aware of all of the crap going on inside, so they don't change it. And sometimes they do. Sometimes it gets loud enough that they pay attention. But what I'm saying is, if they go, I don't feel like it, what am I supposed to do if I don't feel like it? You're not going to feel like it by saying, I don't feel like it. The only way you're going to feel like it is by doing it. Once you do it, you'll feel more like it. Get it? The action of doing, it starts with a thought, I don't feel well. All right, but I'm going to do it anyway. You get out of bed and you go for a walk. Think of it this way. You don't feel like exercising, but if you're forced, this is why people have accountability partners, right? They have somebody come over, knock on their door, go, we're going to the gym. They drag your butt to the gym, and they get you on the treadmill, or they get you on the exercise machinery, or they throw you in the pool, or whatever. You get on the weights, and after a little while, you start feeling like it, okay? Because the energy, you're moving your body. Muhammad Ali said, I don't feel like doing what I have to do. He said, but I knew that if I wanted to be a champion, I had to sacrifice not doing it. That feeling of not doing it for doing it. I had to give up that, I had to give away the feeling of, I'm not going to do this for that future of being a champion. So I'm going to do whatever I have to do now, even when I don't feel like it. I don't know if I made that real clear, but if you want something, you make it happen. You can't expect it to fall in your lap, and that's what a lot of people do. They hope, they wish, they go, oh, I would love to be able to do that. Well, then go do it. If it's positive and possible, you make it more possible by working towards it. Okay? You want to make I'll give you another quick one, and I think see where we are here. I'll just answer a couple of questions. But here's the thing a lot of people do. They overwhelm themselves by making a large goal, like I'm going to go to the gym every day and I'm going to do all this stuff. Or they go, I want to make $1 million this year. And they've never done it. And you hear this all the time. People say, well, then make something more reasonable. Pick something more. The way you become, this is an incredible secret. The way you become a master manifester, the way you make the law of attraction work for you, is you start with things that are small enough that you believe they're possible, but they're stretch you enough to be exciting or desirable. In other words, if I go, I'm going to find a quarter today, well, I could care less, right? Most people don't. If I said, I'd like to find $10 today, I'm going to find $10 today. I don't know where, I don't know how, but $10. Or I want to make $50 this week. I want to make an extra $50, something like that. Or I'm going to make $500 this month. But you find something, and you work to manifest it that day, that week. You set an intention. I'm going to find a way to make $10 extra legally. Legally, all right? Get that? I'm going to find a way. It's not I'm going to find it on the street, although you might. I'm going to find it in my pants, although you might. I did that one time where I said, I'm gonna find some unexpected money. Just a thing that did a long time. And what I did is I found like $40 in my yard, and I was so thrilled. I was like, I found $40 in my yard, and then I realized it was money that I had lost. I had lost $40. I came up short a few weeks or months earlier, and so I had lost the money, but now I got the money back. And I said, I found $40. And somebody said, yeah, well, that was somebody's $40, jerkwad. And I realized, yeah, it was my $40. So I got my own money back, And I was like, that's cool. That to me is a win. See, the thing is, you want to set it up so that you win. You want to set it up so that it's small enough to succeed, but big enough to be fascinating or interesting. Okay? So whatever that is, I'm going to make $10 more today. You get paid at work or whatever. How are you going to make 10 extra dollars? Well, maybe you sell something. You look around your house, you go, I got these books, I'm going to go sell them. Okay. Well, then you made $10. You've done something, but you set an intention. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make $10 today. And you make your $10. And maybe, you do that again another day. I'm going to make another $10. I'm going to make $12. I'm going to make $15. And as you do that, and as you succeed, you develop the muscle, the confidence, and the enthusiasm for making more things happen. I'm going to make $50 today. I'm going to find a way to make $50 today. I'm going to make $50 that I didn't have. I'm going to find a way to create $50. And if you don't, I'm still going to find it tomorrow. It didn't happen today, but I'm going to find it. I'm going to find a way to make it happen. If you go, well, shit, that sucks. I didn't make my money, so screw it. I'm not going to do it anymore. That's what 99 out of 100 people will do. But you, if you're smart, will go, I'm building the muscle for creating what I want. And the more you create and get what you want, the better you get at creating what you want, the bigger things you can create. So pretty soon you're going, you know what? I can create $100,000 this year. I only make, 75 or 50 or 35, but I'm going to create more, right? But you build yourself up to it. It's just like a baby crawls before they walk, and yet everybody reads a book on law of attraction and goes, okay, I'm going to do this. I want $100,000, $100,000, where is it? I don't see it. It's not here. I don't get it. Where is it? It's not working. I don't get it. I still don't have any money. Oh, the bank is coming after me. Oh, the balloon. Oh, my God. Screw it. Doesn't work. Life is unfair. It's a bowl of cherries. I'm in the pits. Get it? All right. So, the last thing I'm going to say is, if everything is a blessing, nothing is a problem. Think about that one for a second. If you consider everything good, even if it's not, if you go, you know what, this trying, tough situation, as challenging as it may be, is really teaching me something. I don't know what that lesson is yet, and I know it's all going to work out for the best, but I'm learning something valuable here. The frame you put on something determines what you find. So if you go, you know what, many people would say that this situation totally sucks, but I'm learning something and I'm exploring opportunities that I didn't even know that I had yet, and I'm going to discover them, and I know that there's something good here for me, and it's I can't see it yet. I don't even know what it is. I can't even imagine what it may be, but I am so thankful to have this opportunity to discover who I am and become stronger through it, and to grow and to develop. So thank you for this opportunity. The more that you do that, the less problems that you have, because they're not problems, they're situations. There may be an annoyance, but it's not a problem. Got it? It's the frame you put on things. It's that mental frame. It's like you put on your positive thinking cap and go, I can handle this. I can handle anything. I don't know how I'm going to handle it yet because I've never done it, but I can do it. Just because you've never done anything before doesn't mean you can't. So do it. All right. So that's it for now. I got a lot more. Hi, Susan. Excuse me. So I want to ask you, what kind of questions do you have, or what kind of topics are you interested in for possible future videos? Remember, if you want another one next Monday, it's up to those watching it now and those watching the recorded version to actually share it. How many of you have already shared this video while we were talking? Maybe one, right? Out of 100, maybe one will actually do it. And I'm not saying that to embarrass anybody or to chide you. I'm saying, think about it. I go, if you like this and you want more of it, please share it. And people go, okay. But then how many actually follow through? So follow through. If you want more, follow through. Hey, Tim, I'm sure you did. Thank you very much. I don't even know who's here or who sticks around. I know people come and people go, and some have said, hey, I can't be here. I've got something I've got to do. I'll watch later or whatever, and that's fine. But my point is be proactive about things. Make an effort, because, the other thing that I tell people all the time is somebody said, I talk about this a lot. You should read every day. You should read positive inspiration material. and you can listen to or watch positive inspiration material. That's why I do a daily blog. But it's not so that you can read the daily blog each day and go, oh, yeah, that's cute or that's cool. It's, thank you, Michael. That's awesome. You shared it. That's cool. So Tim and Michael, I know that you shared it. Thank you. That's awesome. And thanks for the hugs and the kisses and love. Thank you, Lisa. I'm glad you shared it as well. Awesome. And you're welcome. I mean, I love doing this. And that's why I do the Mind Design. The Mind Design is an online training program where you can learn to train your mind to think positively and powerfully, and so you can create your best life ever. And the link for Mind Design should be below this video. It should be right inside, let's see here, in the comments, wherever the video is. So make sure that the people have it, because people always ask for it. So I see here the video, and I put it in Mind Design. So I know that there's at least a link in the comment section of the comments below here. And that's awesome. So I'm looking at my Facebook now. I see that there are 5 shares. So out of the 55 shares that we need to give another video next week, we've got 5. So if you've already shared it and you want to share it about 5 more times each, well, then we're closer. We'll have 25 shares. We'll have 30 shares. You get what I'm saying? Hi, Trevor. Awesome. Yeah, just keep sharing. Keep letting people know. But the point is that you can design your mind and your feelings. You see, you want to think, feel, act, and get the right actions to get the results that you want to get. And that's what I share with you in Mind Design. It's a very powerful, powerful program, and it is designed for people to work it. Like everything, here's the thing that you have to consider. Everything has a season. You plant a seed, it doesn't grow overnight, but it does grow, if you nurture it and there's water and there's sunshine and nutrients, it does grow. And when it starts to grow, it sprouts, and when it sprouts, then it grows up and it ultimately bears fruit. And same thing with any talent or any ability. If you wanted to be a master piano player tomorrow, and you've never played piano, you would start by learning the scales and learning triads and chords and learning rhythm and maybe sight reading music or not, playing by ear. But you would learn some basic principles that you would begin to practice on a daily basis, so that you would get better and better and better the more that you practice. Okay? And the longer that you practice. And then ultimately, you would learn simple songs, like people learn chopsticks, or they learn, to finger. But ultimately, you would start putting those basics together. You'd put the notes and the melody with the chords. You'd be using the pedals on the piano, and eventually you'd become a piano player. Or would be able to play the piano. Now, some people will take that to the extreme, become an incredible piano player. They become a concert piano player, or they play in bands and music, or they become like a Liberace or something. But other people just want to do it so that they can enjoy it. And whichever you decide is what you can do and or strive to do, an effort to do. But whether you want to be a piano player who plays at family gatherings or a piano player who's at Carnegie Hall will depend on how much effort and energy and practice you put into it. I mean, the Olympic skaters don't practice for 5 minutes a day. They spend hours practicing because they want to be an Olympic skater. That's what they're driven and passionate to do. You want to control your life. It doesn't take a whole long time. You don't have to spend 9 hours a day, but you do need to spend time. So I say read every day and listen to things every day. And my blog is great. You read the blog, but don't just read the blog and then go on. Read the blog throughout the day. Embody the principle. Put something into practice. Or go back and study the blogs. Go back and read and reread and reread. I've been reading Think and Grow Rich since I was 11 years old. I read The Laws of Success since I was 7 years old. I read a number of books over and over and over and over again, because every time I read them, I get more from them. People study the Bible, they study the Upanishads, they study Lao Tzu's, they study the Buddhist scriptures, they study the Vedas, because in doing so, they extract more knowledge and more experience, because every time you revisit something at another time, between the time you first read it and the time you second read it, You will have changed some. You will have lived life some. Same thing with writing in your notes down. You write notes, take notes on topics, like if you take notes on what I'm talking about right now, and then you go back and you review your notes, and you review your notes, and then you go back and you rewrite your notes, put them in different words with a new insight, so you have more ahas, because you will change and transform. So it's the framework that you have. If you go, oh my God, I can't believe that there's that much that's required of me, it's going to seem like a whole lot, because that's the frame you stuck on it. If you went, God, I can't believe it's going to be so simple. All I have to do is read a little bit every day. I take some notes. I listen to things. I do what's fun and enjoy it. I go through life lighthearted and carefree. And guess what? I get to benefit by creating my best life ever. And it's worth it. It's worth it for me to invest in myself in this fashion, because what I get back from my investment, what I get back from my time and my energy or my money or whatever it might be, what I get back is so much farther and beyond anything I could have imagined, that that the investment pales by the rewards that I reap. And it's the same thing with the fruit from the tree that bears the fruit or the flowers. You plant a single seed. You could plant an apple seed, for example, that would grow up, that every year will produce hundreds, maybe thousands of apples, and every one of those apples will have multiple seeds in them. And that tree could produce fruit for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, however the life cycle along of that apple tree is. So that one tiny seed that you planted brought forth thousands and thousands and maybe hundreds of thousands of apples, and maybe millions of apple seeds, okay? And that's what can happen in your life when you decide to transform your life, when you decide to create your best life ever, when you decide to design the inside of your head so that you do get the best in life. Because it all begins with your thought, and it all begins with, who are you? Are you the kind of person who easily gets what you want in life? Or are you somebody who struggles from getting what you want in life? And if you're struggling, and if life isn't the way you want it to be, and it's not that easy, and it may never be easy, but it's how you approach it. Because some people love a challenge, and some people wither and fear and hate a challenge. So it's all up to each of us and what we do and how we think about it. Because if we be the person we want to become, I want to be healthy and I want to be rich, then act like it now. I want to be positive, then act positive now. Embody it, embrace it, live it. Because you plant those seeds, you invest in yourself, and you will become it. I hope you will join me in mind design, and I hope you will spread the word. If you see me sharing links for stuff, spread it. Please help me share the word. Share the blog, share the videos, share the mind design stuff, because it's valuable information, life-transforming information that you can't. I think it's critical for everybody to have, and not everybody will have it, because only 1 out of 100 people will have the fortitude, the persistence, the guts, the passion, the desire to do something really important for themselves. And that is to transform themselves in a positive way. But not only can you help yourself, you can help untold numbers of others, if that's what you want to do. If you want to help other people, then learn the material so that you can help others easily and effortlessly. Okay? So I've said my piece for tonight. Are there any final questions or comments before we go our separate ways and live our exciting lives? I have a meeting in a little while, so I'm thrilled. I get to see a wonderful film editor friend of mine for dinner. I'm looking forward to dinner, too. And tomorrow I'm going to see Mark. I'm going to go meet Mark in Santa Monica tomorrow. I've got other meetings later in the day, but I'm going to go see Mark, who was here earlier. He had to run. Any questions? Any comments? Are we still live? Yay, side. This is my waiting face. I'm waiting. And I will wait a little more. Thank you, Sad. That's nice. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Tim, what are some other examples to start smaller to play with manifesting? In what way do you mean? What are some other examples? What do you mean? Like a car, for example. Let's say I want a Maserati. Well, it costs a lot, right? Or a Lamborghini. But it may not be unreasonable for somebody to say, I want a new car, and I don't care if it's a used car. Hi, Jill. And it's a used car. What's easiest to manifest? All right. So you manifest the new used car. Does that make sense? You're welcome, Michael. Hi, Jill. You manifest a new used car. Maybe it's just a slightly better used car than the one you're driving. But you manifest it. You go, I'm driving this car. It's worth $1,500. So I'm gonna up level. I'm gonna go to a $2,000 used car, $1,800 used car, and you up level to that. And then from that car, you up level to a $2,500 car. From that to a $5,000 car. To that to a new car. It's like a $10,000 or $17,000 car. And from that, in other words, you build your successes because every time you do something, if you say, I'm gonna work out today, and you don't, it's like you kicked yourself in the face. Okay, you go, oh, yeah, I didn't do it. I'm bad. I know I should do it. But you take the steam out of your engine. If you say, I'm going to manifest a new car, and you go, I'm going to get a Maserati, and you spend, months going, Maserati, and you don't, and you're comparing, how come there's no Maserati in my driveway, I'm not driving one. It becomes tougher to do. It's not impossible. There are people who could do it. There's stories of people who go, you know what, I have a Mercedes in my driveway, and they don't. They just go, there's my, I got it parked in my garage. People think they're nuts. They talk about their Mercedes, about what a wonderful car it is and how it is. But here's the key to some of this. It's also easier if you go out and you sit in a Mercedes, you sit in a Lamborghini, you sit in a Maserati, you sit in a new car, you get a feel for it, you take pictures of yourself in the car, you see yourself standing next to it, have a friend, driving it. Maybe it's a watch you want, you go to the jewelry store, you put the watch on, you go to a clothing store, you put the clothes on, go to the shoe store, put the shoes on, whatever it is that you want to manifest. You go and try it on. You get a feel for it. It's one thing to think about. It's another thing to actually touch it and to hold it. To have an experience with it, to smell what the car smells like. Put your hands on the steering wheel and look out through the windshield. If you can, you take it for a test drive, and you have these pictures, put it on a vision board, you sit there and you imagine it, But what does it take to get the Maserati? See, in other words, it's one thing to say I want a Maserati. It's another thing to say I want to be able to afford the Maserati, because it's not, the Maserati probably is not going to just appear in your driveway. Yes, you could win it, but you see what I'm saying? That's different. That's saying I want to attract something as opposed to I'm going to create something. So the idea is I'm going to make the money to buy the Maserati, because that's most likely how it's going to happen. We don't work outside the laws of the universe. We walk inside the laws of the universe. And the law of the universe is like gravity, and things like that. You don't suddenly float up in the sky because you think you're going to fly. You have to build a plane in order to do that. And that plane has to originate with a thought. Then you have to experiment with it like the Wright brothers did until they got lift right. And then once they got the lift right and the speed right and all the components right, then they learned to fly. And then they went, oh, that's how you do it. Right? And then they knew how they do it. Then they could build other planes that flew. Until they flew, they didn't know how to do it. And it's the same way with us. Until you manifest things, you don't know how to manifest things. So, but once you start manifesting, and if they're small enough that they're easy enough to do, that they're not so overwhelming that you don't think it's possible. Because if you don't believe it's possible, see, Napoleon Hill said, if you can conceive it and believe it, then you can achieve it. But if you can conceive it but don't believe it, how are you going to achieve it? So you have to believe that you can do it. Is this clear? So you start with the things that are possible for you to do, and you build that muscle of manifesting until they'll go, you know what, I'm a good manifester. When I decide I put my sights on something, it's mine. I make it happen. It's not I'm getting it from the universe. You may be getting it from the universe, but do you get the difference? Yes, God may be giving it, or the infinite intelligence, or the universe source, or whatever, but you are all those things if you think you are. And some people don't. They differentiate. There's a God out there and there's me. Two different things. Or the God within me and the God, Without going into all that, because that's personal for everybody. Crystal clear. All right, cool. Yeah, so that's just it. If you don't know how to do it, you can't do it. Once you've done it, you can look back and go, that's how I made that happen. Okay, just like the Wright brothers, just like the light bulb, just like the radio, just like the steamship, just like the automobile. Once it's made, you know how to make another one. Good. I'm glad that I could help you with that. That's actually in the Law of Attraction program that's coming down the pike as well. See, I have other programs. We're doing Mind Design right now. We're doing the Tesla program. We've got stuff that I'm still contributing to both of those. I have a Law of Attraction thing. I'm going to be doing a thing on the Master Key System. I want to do a thing on the Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. I've got the NLP programs and a lot of other programs that are going to be for those people. I mean, each program is an independent, separate program. For people who are right now, or those right now in the beta group, they get those programs as part of. So, Tim, you're one of those people. Michael's one of those people. Some of the people who are here, Richard, some of the people, I forget who else was here. But so those people get access to these programs at this time. It won't always be the case. It'll all be sold separately. But I'm not trying to talk business. I'm just letting you know that there's a lot of really cool stuff. I can't wait to be teaching the Law of Attraction stuff. Or some of these other things, which are really very, very cool. Excuse me. Any other questions? From anyone. Remember to share. Remember to share. You can share the Mind Design stuff. I think there's a link there. Share that. Let your friends know. If you're in Mind Design and you're liking it, share it with other people. Tell them, hey, get in there now. This is the time to do it. Sign up today. Share the blog. Share this video. So we have 55 before next week. If I have to share them all, I won't do a show. Okay. Awesome. All right. So we still got people here. Still people watching. I'm so glad that you all showed up. I really do. It's so... I forgot Mike and Michael. So, it's so cool to be able to participate with people in this way and Facebook Live and on my wall. I love the people in the pods in the Mind Design programs. It's very cool. Again, we're getting hopefully close to launching the platform that we have been working on for a while now. I don't know. I don't have a date yet on that. So a lot of good stuff coming down the pike. And let me go. Oh, cool. Thanks, Ed. And thank you for saying so. And Robert, hello. All right, well, if there are no further questions, I'll wait one more minute. But if there's no further questions, then I'm going to be saying goodbye. I'm going to hope that you share this. I'm going to have a fabulous rest of the time here in Los Angeles. This is my home. This is my power spot. This is where, and my daughter's out here on the West Coast, and so we went and saw Cirque du Soleil the other day. Man, I cry when I see such good talent. I do that. I can watch a TV show and see an actor and go, oh, my God, or listen to a piece of music. People work to excel at something and are able to pull it off. It is just so absolutely incredible. The same thing is true about manifesting and directing your mind and creating your life. When people do it in such a way, or help another person, or help somebody, a child, or they do something kind and nice, it's just so awesome that that happens, and that people look out for each other and they take care of each other. We can create a really incredible world in spite of what appears to be going on. Oh, I went to the Bill Maher show. I mean, my sister is a friend of the co-executive producer and writer of the show. They wrote Dennis Leary's first series way back then, and so we went to the Bill Maher show last Friday. I met Adam Schiff, the Democratic representative. There may be some Republicans here who don't like that. Richard Painter, who's a Republican, worked under Bush. I met a very interesting author, a guy named Johan Hari, who very, very cool guy. I met Bill, obviously, and April Ryan, who's a news reporter, a journalist on the news, and a woman named Barry Weiss, who's a journalist as well. I got to talk to all these people and I had a really marvelous time, and I forget why I was telling you this. I'm not just a name drop, But I mean, I had a great time at Bill Maher's at CBS, and been a while since I've been there, and we had very wonderful VIP treatment, and Chris, who's the writer, is a fabulous guy, and very cool. So I spend my time here with my friends, in movie business and working on deals and things that I'm creating and manifesting in that regard, and just hanging out with friends and having a marvelous time. But this is my power spot, and so I'm glad that my daughter's out here doing her thing and I'm doing my thing, and we get to hang out. And then I'll go back to the frozen middle of the country for a little while, and then I'll be back and forth again, as I always am. So I next week we should be back on Monday, as it is. Linda, I think I'd like to visit California. I've not yet been. I love it. This is it. You got the mountains, you got the desert, you got the beach or the ocean, and you got an urban city, and you got the forest not far from here. You got the best of all worlds, and then there's the urban sprawl. And for me, there's show business and the whole thing. That this area, and of course, you can't beat the climate as far as I'm concerned. So I love it. All righty, so I'm going to go. It's been fabulous talking with you. We've done a little bit over an hour, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time, hopefully. Remember, it's up to you. If it's to be, it's up to me, is the statement. So, as a recap, keep your word and your commitment to yourself and to other people. Honor and integrity, as Linda had posted earlier. Speak only to heal, bless, heal, prosper, inspire, and motivate. Set your positive mindset and then work on it. Create bit by bit what you want. You set that mindset and you continue to do it, and you'll begin to see the results in the outer world. And hey, and by the way, just so you know, as the final, sometimes as you begin to create, it's like all hell breaks loose and the weirdness starts to happen, and you go, wait a second, it should be awesome. We'll talk more about this another time. The reason why that hell breaks loose is because you're breaking up patterns and systems, and it's kind of like, it's the old saying, it's darkest before the dawn, or all of the swirling wind around the center of a hurricane is tremendous scrap. Well, that's kind of what it is. You kind of break through the old stuff into new stuff. Doesn't have to be that way, but it sometimes can be. So if you encounter, you start doing these things and you encounter a little bit of difficulty, embrace it. That's where you go, oh my God, this is working. A lot of people will go, that 99 out of 100 will go, this didn't work because now crap is happening. No. If stuff is starting to fall apart, that's also good too. Somebody goes, you know what? I want this will go back to Timothy. I want that Maserati, and then their car breaks down, and now they don't have a car. Well, okay, now you're making room for a new car. You can make room for a new car. It's kind of like if you want more stuff in your closet, you're going to have to throw the old stuff out first. So now you're throwing out the old stuff. You're getting rid of the old stuff so you can invite the new stuff in. Okay? So keep that in mind. Everything is good. It all depends on the frame that you put around it. See how this all comes all the way back? It's the frame of mind that you operate from that determines the quality of your life. And if that frame is golden, your life can be golden. And if you have a crappy frame, your life will be crappy. So you choose the frame you want and then live from that. That is the key. Live from that mindset, from that attitude with gratitude. Look for the blessing. Bless, heal, prosper, inspire, and motivate. And live a fabulous life and create your best life ever. And then come join me again. Share the video. Check out Mind Design. The link is right there. It's dailyinspirationgratitude.com/, Mind Design. And if not, take a look. Okay? All right. All the best. Until next time, have a fabulous life and continue. All right. Love you all. Bye-bye.